business tidbits where we try to bring up issues that we believe entrepreneurs should think about and act upon in order to enhance their chances of business success. Our blog, which we normally provide the address at the end of the video, is built really from ground up. What I mean by that is we started by discussing basic issues like business mindset, threats of entrepreneurs, and then went into idea generation, idea testing, business planning, and all that all the way up, and then taking up contemporary issues as they arise. Going by that structure for the videos also, the next issue I had wanted to take up was on business planning. But in the last few days, we have had several conference calls with a group of young entrepreneurs with a very promising idea. They have done so well in their testing. They have even done well really as far as the fundamentals of the business planning are concerned. Unfortunately, they have done their budget and they are like almost giving up as far as raising the funds are concerned. Unfortunately, this is a very common issue with many aspiring entrepreneurs. They have brilliant ideas, quite workable, but then at the point of raising the funds, they give up. I think that these are issues that are very important, and I want to take it up here. Of course, to decide how much funds you require for your business, you need to draw a realistic budget. That is the basic instrument that you need to start working on. And in drawing up your budget, you need to understand the various purposes for which funds will be required. If you are a startup, you might need funds from as early as to cover your pre-operational expenses. Those are expenses that have to do with their research, with their legal documentation to register your company and all that. And then you also need funds for capital investments into equipment, motor vehicles, and whatever you need that will be depreciated over a period of time. Then you might also, of course, need funds for your working capital. That's to cover issues like buying raw materials, paying staff salaries, and basic investments like that. Then there are also times when, as a going concern, you might need funds to, on one-off basis, as they say, maybe for transactions that come up, which you need to see in order to make even more money. And then with time again, you might need funds to cover or finance growth requirements. That is to say, maybe you are now operating at 2 tons per hour capacity, but with the increasing market opportunities, you are looking at the possibility of growing to 5 tons per hour. So in which case you need maybe more equipment, more delivery facilities and all that. So you might need funds to finance the growth operations. Understanding the purpose for which monies will be put into is very important, because that will determine the kind of sources you should be looking for to raise the funds. It will also determine the kind of structure of the funding that you should be looking at. So these are the kind of things, part of the kind of things that an aspiring entrepreneur must go into the details to understand. Now, there are several sources of raising funds. There are the traditional sources, and there are also now many non-traditional sources. Some of these sources, regardless of whether they're traditional or not, include maybe you breaking your savings to fund part of the operations. You may also liquidate some assets that you might have. You have a property for which you do not wish to mortgage, but instead sell and invest the funds in your business. Or you could get investors to provide funds for you. You could also borrow. And what other kind of sources you could get all this from? You could get from yourself, like we said, by you breaking your savings. You could also get loan from family and friends. You could also raise investment from angel investors. You could borrow from banks. You could borrow from government sources. There are several government intervention sources now, especially in Nigeria, which I'll talk to briefly later. There are several such government intervention funds that target youths to fund their businesses. There are also several online sources which, even without meeting investors and financiers, you could raise funds. So far, we understand that you need to be absolutely clear about the amounts you need, the purposes for which those amounts will be put to, and then the kind of sources that are available to you to raise different kinds of funds for your operations. So, from my experience and observations, what do I see as the challenge typically associated with young people raising funds? I think the first challenge is a very negative mindset. People just tend to assume, without even trying, that raising funds is difficult. And yes, raising funds can be difficult, and it can be very difficult in difficult times, yet it is something that is done. And for any aspiring entrepreneur, you must be comfortable with putting in your mind and effort to raising the funds you need. If you cannot raise funds for your business operations, you don't even stand any chance of success. So you have to remove the mindset and believe that it can be done, and truly believe it can be done, and then put in the effort and the thought that is required for you to be able to exhaust all the opportunities until you achieve your desired result. The second challenge I see also is really lack of creativity. People don't look at what are the options and what are the possible sources. People just assume that somebody should write the check and give it to them, without requesting. It doesn't work that way. There are literally billions and billions in dollars and naira put aside by people who wish to invest in businesses. But it is your responsibility as the promoter to do whatever is required to convince them that they should trust you with their funds. So you have to be creative first in exploring what are the possible sources, and also look at what are the options given what the purposes we discussed are for the specific requirements of the funds you are going to put use to. Number three is what I call lack of transparency. A lot of us do not come fully upfront with the details for what we're going to use the funds for, and in the utilization we are not transparent. That can put off any investor. If you really want people to support you, you must be upfront and completely and fully transparent. Your estimates should be clear. When you are conservative, you should also make it clear that, look, what we're establishing that we're going to use 10 million naira, more likely 10 million naira, but because of contingencies, we're adding 2 million naira on top. All those little details must be made very clear to the financier. And when issues arise, even before the investors know, you must be the one to take up the issues with them, meet with them, discuss with them that there are issues or we are foreseeing issues. And if you have ideas about how you are going to resolve them, let them know that you have the solution here on top of everything. If you don't have, discuss with them, chances are that they can also make a suggestion. Transparency in credit and investment is actually what keeps everything running. The moment that is betrayed, chances are that everybody will pay and continue to pay heavy prices on that. Then there's also what I see as lack of resolve. Like people just put some mild efforts and they think they have done the best they can. The moment you are not resolute, you are not result oriented, there is no way you can pass the litmus test of raising funds. You must be resolute, you must be determined, and you must be absolutely sure that, look, at the end of the day, I want to raise these funds because I know what I can turn it around into. One of the last things also, but very important, is that a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs do lack an understanding of the processes and the requirements of getting funds, either loans or investments from financiers and investors. Unless you understand what the processes and the requirements are, you don't stand any chance of meeting the requirements, and you will not even be able to follow the processes. So I think these are basically some of the challenges that I see like with these young people that I discussed with, and we're trying to see how we can resolve that. So what are the solutions? The solutions are exactly the reverse of the challenges. You have to have the right mindset. You must be sure, you must be positive that you can do it, and sincerely believe you can do it, and then put in all the thoughts and all the effort that you need to be able to raise the funds that you need. You must be creative. That is one of the key differences between successful entrepreneurs and those that don't succeed. You must understand what are the options, and you must be able to create solutions where there is seemingly none. You must understand what are the sources and create even other sources that hitherto have not been known. You must understand the processes, you must understand the requirements. Creativity is very key to the success of the entrepreneur. You must be transparent, like I said earlier, unless you carry people along, unless they know they can trust everything you give them, you will continue to make it difficult for yourself to raise funds. And then finally, you must be result oriented. If you are not result oriented and you are not determined, you cannot pass the litmus test, as I said earlier. Please visit our blog. The address is given at the end of the video. I have an ebook on business borrowing. I have a post on bootstrapping, which is a very, very important strategy that especially the startup entrepreneur must be aware of in terms of using less resources to achieve a lot more. I also have a post on the blog on fundraising, and then of course this YouTube channel with several other issues are discussed. The most important thing is you must have the right mindset, and you must do what is right and be fully determined to raise the funds that you need in order to start your business, run it successfully, and continue to grow it over time. That's all for today. I hope you will be able to benefit from a thing or two. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, visit our blog, and read a lot more posts on other issues that I think are important to the success of the entrepreneur. Thank you.